Dear friends, good afternoon. It is so beautiful to find ourselves together in such a large room with people we know and to discuss interesting things. So when we started back in the beginning of the year, we started planning our current conference, what we had in mind was to organize a big celebration. A celebration for these 20 years as an anniversary, to remember the good and important moments we had in this organization and to honor the work of people, very important people, valuable people who shared a common purpose and who left their own mark, as it were. So it was around the end of February where a sudden turnaround happened. A war that broke out on our doorstep in the heart of Europe that actually left us a little room for celebration. We were called upon to organize a feast and a celebration at the time where we had images of death and destruction all over the mass media. The environmental destruction was not in the front light, and the threat to energy sufficiency was just emerging at the time. So it was an environment to which we had to adapt once again, and to adapt the agenda of a conference on sustainable development and corporate responsibility that might appear to some that is lacking in importance. However, it is very important, and the things we're talking about defy time. And this is the common purpose that has led us and has been driving us all these years as a team and group of people in the committee, but also as professionals in sustainability as a sector. Because, well, you see, even where we find before us the adversities of externalities, like our president said, it is very important to maintain our commitment to the people and the natural environment, and the identification of good entrepreneurship with timeless values. These were, are, and will be our priority regardless of the surrounding conditions. So our title today of this conference, Headwinds, attempts to describe this journey of sustainability, the way it developed and evolved over these 20 past years. So against these winds, we're talking about business prejudice dating back decades, talking about bad habits of wasting and throwing away resources, against the irresponsibility towards people's rights, against the irresponsibility of harming the natural environment. And where everything is trying to derail us, the surrounding conditions, we persist. We insist on a business model and an entrepreneurship that is based on the purpose of insisting and respecting universal human values. They say that when the wind is blowing against you, you learn to sail on all winds and on all seas. And this is our message today. In this time of war, in this time of recurrent social crises, in these times of an energy crisis that is, well, brutally, I would say, affecting businesses and citizens alike, and is forcing the state to halt its path to clean energy, it is these times that we are keeping the spirit of sustainability high, and we're here today to present you issues that we hope will have a substantial impact. Today you will hear about the results of a survey we organized with the American College because, well, citizens, it is on citizens' current attitude to sustainable development. And we placed a focus on young citizens because we're interested in them the most. We will hear about the major social changes that are emerging in Europe and Greece and how they need to be, well, linked to modern entrepreneurship. And they need to be embedded in the ESG strategy of the businesses. We will hear about major threats to climate and biodiversity and how these need to be explained in simple words, clear words, so that they can be understood the world over and by everyone. we will talk about the interactions of environmental and social conditions that at first glance seem disconnected from one another, but when they come together, they create an explosive mix that must be understood, clearly understood, so that we can be ready, state, citizens and businesses, to adapt in time. And if there's something that we did learn over these past few years of recurrent crises, is that it is only through adaptiveness can we survive and prosper. Adaptiveness and adaptability. My heartfelt thanks go to the members of the Corporate Responsibility Committee, current and past, for their creative imagination and the vision that led this conference to be a benchmark in the Greek business scene. I should like to particularly thank Angela Boyadji, because without Angela, the crazy ideas of the committee would never actually make it to this room. I should like to thank the management and the people of the Chamber for their trust all these years. I should like to thank the many companies, businesses that believe in what we do for so many years, and year after year they're by us. And finally, I should like to thank all of you for being with us today, either in physical presence or via your screens, because everything we do without you wouldn't have any meaning. Thank you very much once again, and I should like to welcome to the stage, to the podium, Rouli Christopoulou, who will have the responsibility and the flow of this